Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Check out the hockeybettingpodcast.ca. We got a number of books that have joined up with us and have incredible sign-up offers for you to play hockey with that first deposit. Get on board. Go to the hockeybettingpodcast.ca. Click the link, sign up, and have some fun with us.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast with your hosts, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas and Cam Stewart in Toronto. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Thursday, March 18th, 2021. And now live from Las Vegas, your host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
Hey, everybody, it's the Hockey Betting Podcast, ready to rock and roll. Brian Blessing in Vegas, Cam Stewart hanging out. I always say it's Mississauga, right?
Yeah,
but I mean,
you say whatever you want.
But Toronto sounds so official and cool.
Hello, I'm from Toronto. Yeah, all those jerks in Toronto. I'm in Mississauga, baby.
That's the funny thing. You remember the what's the guy's name? The Darian Cox guy?
Yeah. Don't
was
actually,
it the Toronto
Lisa,
Star?
Yeah, Lisa's upstairs. Yeah, she's not a real big fan. Yeah, they used to.
Well, back when the expansion draft was coming in, this guy, I would be doing interviews right all from Vegas when hockey was coming here. Edmonton, Toronto, all these places. Oh, hockey, it'll never work there. It'll never work there.
Yeah, guy's a stooge. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here giving you 38 reasons why it's going to work. No,
but the best is, Brian, you'll never get an apology or I was wrong from these guys, right? Just
no,
write it and never apologize, right?
But it's like it's going to work, and the visiting fans in 5 years, if they're bad, anyway, it's a circus act, right? But the Damian Cox guy wrote, "This is really brilliant to give this to a city with a population of 600,000." I'm like, okay, dumbass, wait here, that would be like, honestly, there's 3 million people here. The city of Las Vegas has a population of 600,000. That would be akin to saying that not one person from Mississauga has ever gone to a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Meanwhile, we fill the building, right? and the surrounding areas too, Scarborough and Markham. Remember, Brian, it was almost like in Major League Baseball when they had like the extra team. Like they were actually talking, remember, Hamilton, these areas are close enough. Like everybody from like an hour and a half away goes to the game. So ignorant people just don't understand anything. But buddy, I just want to get into this. And I was talking to producer Mike about just how wild this league has been in the live betting. Example, last night, Dallas is down 2 goals. They got the goalie pulled. Boom, it's 3-3. These guys live were almost plus 800. They lose in a shootout. Colorado, they're the best live bet. Like, unless you're parlaying these things, Brian, you know what I mean? You take them live. They're down 4-2. The goaltender, Mishka, gets absolutely rocked by Anaheim. They pull him. They put in Grubauer. 6 unanswered goals, and you could have got Colorado at plus 320. I'll tell you, people are talking about this sport, this live betting stuff for hockey, Brian. It's blowing up wallets big time, buddy.
Well, buddy, it's a cliche. The worst lead in any sport is a 2-goal lead in hockey.
It's true. It's so true, and it's wild. And as we're taping this, Brian, I made some plays tonight, like the Rangers. I'm like, wow. I told Mike, I go, listen, do you know all the teams, when Vegas had the COVID and the other guys came, no team has lost with the AHL coaches and the COVID staff there. The Rangers are playing their best game of the season. By the time of taping, we're up 9-0 on Philadelphia with the Hartford Wolfpack guys on the bench. So I will tell you this COVID angle, like hockey players know enough. They can roll out the lines themselves. And I'm sure the Chris Drury, he's never played a game in the NHL, right, Brian? I think these guys got things under control. Come on.
Hey, real quick. The we're taping on. I mean, it's a blur, kid. Wednesday night.
We're
in the middle of games. Final seconds of the Vancouver Ottawa game. It's 2-2. Yep. All right. It literally happened with 44 seconds to go. Kind of a close play. Shoot it over the glass. I believe they got it right. It happened the other night, Vegas and St. Louis, and they got it wrong. And I asked DeBoer after the game, and you and I, how many times have we been talking about this? We had just talked about it like a couple of weeks ago. They're going to give up a Stanley Cup, or a team is going to lose a series because they get that shooting it over the glass called wrong. These guys huddle up and go, did you see it? Did you see it? And go to the monitor and say 5 minutes and look at it once and you'll get the right answer. And I asked Pete DeBoer, I said, was the explanation they gave you, they shot it over the glass, was it because the glass is no longer behind the bench for ventilation? And he goes, well, I don't know if that's what they were factoring in. It was way over that. But I said, but should this be reviewable? Because it is such a hard call to make. And he said, and he thought about it, like you don't want to tell the league what to do. And he's like, he goes, the short answer to your question is yes. He said, the game is so fast. It's such a hard call. 95% of the time, the TV will give you the right answer. I think it should be reviewable. I've been saying this for 20 years, and Brian, it's happened three times.
Good questions.
It's happened 3 times in the last week, and here with 30 seconds to go in a tie game, it happens again.
Yeah, no, you ask good questions. I see some of these ones. I'd like to say happy birthday to, my friend watching in Henderson. I'm like, and then you come out with a question. It's like, come on. People,
yeah. Fleury shut him out. What flavored donuts are you going to get? Because they give out a dozen donuts when he gets a shutout, and they're asking about, hey, you won donuts again. Like, okay, thanks. In the meantime, I'm sitting there watching the Sabres travesty from afar. And Mike Carrington, who's great, he was on my radio show the other day. He says the day before, I had him on the day before Kruger got fired. But he had interviewed Kruger after they lost their 11th in a row. And he says, this is the question to Ralph Kruger, the postgame question. Ralph, your team is a disgrace.
I know, it was the best. I know they talked about
your team is a disgrace.
It was the best.
They've quit on you. Well, what can you? Well, and then so he did that. But then he asked Sam Reinhart, and there was the funniest thing I've ever seen. He goes through his whole thing. Sam, he says, this is it's beyond belief. It's ridiculous. He says, what can you say that would make anybody in this town believe that you haven't quit on this coach, your teammates, the organization, and the city of Buffalo, right? He goes like the most blood curdling, right? And Sam Reinhart goes, "Could you say that again, Mike?"
We knew it was coming. Brian. We'll talk about it on our podcast too. Kruger's days were numbered there. This team, even when they take a lead in a game, they lose. It's just a train wreck, and I feel sorry for people like you. It's almost glad that you moved to Las Vegas, because if you were still in Buffalo, I don't even know if you'd be around just supporting this club. It just takes years off your life.
We got to start. I told you, this is no joke. Yeah. I literally right now, I look like the Gordon's fisherman, and I'm on the fast track to be Rumpelstiltskin. After the losing streak was 4, it is now at 12. No joke. I said, I'm not shaving until they win a game. Cam, right now, honest to God, I was walking into the radio station today, and somebody handed me a couple of dollars and a sandwich.
Exactly. Hey, buddy, you need a smoke? They got loose smokes for you, Blessing. Remember, don't put the smokes in a box. Just hold out your hand, and you'll get some singles. Let's rock. What do we got? Go. Nashville, Florida, buddy? Is that where we're going to start?
Let's have at it. Let's get to the schedule for Thursday. Let's go. I'm on. Let me just double check. Let's go by rotation.
That's kind of what I was doing, I thought. 40 game, 47, 48 Nashville, Florida, is it not?
Bingo. Yes, you're the man.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Nashville, awful. Florida, -2 potatoes.
Yeah, I'd probably lay Florida in regulation in this game there, Brian. I'll tell you one thing about Nashville. When that game was scoreless against Tampa Bay, I get my feelers off. Hockey's one of those sports, and compared to others, you could really tell when like that big pooch has a chance of coming in, and Nashville got it done. I don't expect them to get 2 wins in a row. Both teams well rested. Florida should take these guys out to the woodshed. They're parlay material too if you want to jump on it, but I'm going to do the old Brian Blessing -1.5. I think Florida probably wins this game 5-2.
All right, this is a weird one, buddy. They played not too long ago. It was a great weekend for Chicago. They're at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's -245. The total is 6. Cam, 2 of the 3 games in Chicago went over. I think that's where I would go here.
Yeah, I agree. I see some of the 6s out there. Chicago's been a nice story. They really grind. They battle, but let's call it out. In Tampa Bay, Brian, they're not playing their best hockey right now. They let Dallas come back in that game. Very lucky to win in a shootout. I could tell you one thing, Cooper, he's not going to like that type of hockey, blowing a 2-goal lead with the goalie pulled too. I think Tampa Bay is going to be in a real bad mood. Hey, we already talk about dance partners. You do the old Florida 2-step with the Panthers and the Lightning and turn that thing into a little bit of plus. I think Tampa Bay probably takes the Blackouts out to the woodshed. Would you not agree? Over?
I playing the over. I thought Chicago played them really tough. I don't argue with you, buddy. Honestly,
I'm just looking at. I look at recent form, and like a good team like Tampa not playing their best. Cooper will have these guys ready to rock.
But let me go right back.
They've been hanging on by a thread, right?
Let me go right back to how you started this, though. And I guess you can hook them up in parlays and stuff. But wouldn't you sit there and hope Chicago scored first, and then all of a sudden Tampa Bay would be minus $1.45.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. We're going to do this show, and we're going to have pregame picks, but, you want the dog to score first in the game, and then we come back live, and we'll talk more about that stuff. It's been really lucrative. But, yeah, if Chicago scores first, you get Tampa Bay at a good number, and definitely I think that, hey, you almost want Chicago to go first for the total too, Brian. Get over that number. I agree.
This is the best hockey podcast we've ever done. Rhonda just came walking out. I got a chocolate milkshake while we're going here.
That's good. Well, I just ordered pizza and can't touch it yet, but I'm smelling it from the other room, and I'm thinking about eating this wooden table. What do we got next? Columbus and Carolina? Is that next?
Splinters in your
This table looks like a chocolate cake right now. I just want to take a big bite out of it.
Carolina's coming off a loss, kiddo. Would you go puck line?
I would. I think Columbus is fraudulent. Carolina is one of those teams. I hate to say it, it's a chalky day. This looks like a round robin parlay day to me, or the minus 1.5. So however you guys want to do it, try to get plus money as much as we can and find a parlay partner. But I just love Carolina in this spot, Brian. I think they're going to murder them. I hate to say it, but I'm pretty chalky, like with Florida, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. I'm looking for a dog, and I can't find one right yet.
All right, bad news for the Islanders, right? Anders Lee's out for the year.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Philly, and
We're a train wreck.
Listen, they played 4 games in a row over the total. 5-4, 5-3, 5-4, 5-4. I know the Islanders are offensively challenged, but Philly, I don't care who the goalie is right now, they can't stop a basketball. And they're going to they're making it the total 5.5. Wouldn't you, and it's 5.5 under money. Wouldn't you make this 6 under? Shouldn't that numbers be 6? I know it's the Islanders.
I don't care if it's the Islanders. Philadelphia can't stop a beach ball. By the time of taping, the Rangers have 9 goals on these guys, and there's 16 minutes to go left in the third period. Give me the over, and I usually take a team after they got thumped. I don't know where Philadelphia's psyche is right now, Brian. I'm going to be it smart like you. Instead of just trying to do everything, I'm just going to take the over in the game, and if Philadelphia beats them 5-4, so be it. But this team, Carter Hart has no confidence. Elliott's getting rocked. They have no goaltending. This team looks old and slow. The Islanders are still a better team, but I like the over.
All right.
Oh, now, God, help us.
No. Here you go.
Hold on here. I got to crack a steam whistle.
Go take a bite of the pizza. All right. Boston is 270 at Buffalo.
Big swig. Yep.
The total on the game is 5.5. Cameron, here's what I'm going to say to you.
Man. Cameron? I like when you go, Cameron?
Yeah, that's what I'm serious. All right. Here's the deal. I would play this. It's their first game of the year. Played Boston. So first game of a series, first game of the year.
Over
the 5.5. And honestly, you got Granato's going to be the coach. So the coaching change. These guys have, they have the heart the size of a grape. I'm just saying, I'm not playing Buffalo. I'm playing over the 5.5 because let me tell you something. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, the frontline workers are going to be at the game, right? So that's what they're doing. They're letting frontline workers go to the game. Nice touch.
Yep.
And I am telling you, Saturday they should make the Bruins a $10 favorite. Saturday is the first game that the fans will be at a Buffalo game. And the first time they go offside, they are going to get booed off the ice. I like over tomorrow night, and Boston will woodshed them on Saturday.
That's the thing. You're going to, like, the frontline workers are here to save lives. This team's killing the frontline workers. They get to watch Buffalo play. This is horrible for the frontline workers of Buffalo. And guys like you, Brian, you deserve better. As I say, Buffalo, you can adopt me into your city. I love you. I want to live there. I can, eat chicken wings and pizza and cheap rents for the rest of my life. I love this damn town. You're giving nothing. It's sickening to the sports fans watching this team play. Are they ever going to show up and win a game? Give me the over here, Brian. They're going to win a game eventually, just probably not against the Boston Bruins.
Well, the only thing is it's the first game with a new coach. If you're ever going to take a mini swing, I like the over. But it's Saturday, they get destroyed.
Yeah.
They get destroyed. The fans are going to kill them.
No, you're right. There's no mercy. The best was that you said it like during that Zoom conference thing. They left the comments up too. take down the team, embarrassment. Like there was stuff. I'm not dropping F-bombs or stuff, but the comments were like Kruger's just sitting there going, "Oh God,
I
honestly,
lose my
child." It was the funniest thing
I'm
I've
thinking
ever
of
seen.
changing careers because they're so bad. I've been Twitter gold. I'm like, hey, I'm actually pretty funny. It's it's because they give you such great material. I'm like, by the way, we're doing this live, and we know how you've been with the shootouts. Do you need something here?
Ottawa.
You need Ottawa in the shootout?
Yeah, so Vancouver's going to win. It's fine. Brian, this is what I told you about my +1.5. So now I do the Ottawa +1.5 with Vancouver with the Rangers, the plus.
So
money.
Does it matter?
Vancouver,
or not?
I have them on the money line too. But that's why I do these parlays that I tell people on the show. Do you really want to have your finances go down and watching these guys in the skill competition right now? I told you, been there, done that. It's working now. I don't even I'd prefer Ottawa to win for extra money. Look at these guys. They're stopping. This is a joke. Well, what do we got next? Pittsburgh, New Jersey. Let's just go. We got to go.
All right, I'm going to run. I'm going to boot you home in the shootout. All right,
listen, I know you are. God, that was pathetic.
New Jersey is god awful, and they're coming off the first win, and the big letdown spot after finally winning a game. You got to take Pittsburgh, right?
I think you do. I think you will take Pittsburgh. Here we go. Oh my God! Goalie makes save his life.
No,
backhand kick.
This is one of the worst efforts offensively I've ever seen. The goalie's laughing at him.
It's just
who's Gustafson, by the way? Where'd this guy come from?
I have no idea who these guys are.
Come on, one time. I want my buddy Cam to win.
You and Mike drunk to do this stuff. Pittsburgh, New Jersey.
Nice move! Oh my God, what a save! Oh, you are not.
You're ahead of me.
You are not going to believe this save. He puts a skate. It hits the skate, Cam. He puts the back of his leg up. It hits the skate.
No, Brian, stop. I'm watching this too. You're killing me here. We're in round 4. I saw. Don't worry. Have you watched Bo Horvat trip over his own feet yet? No, that's next.
Then you're ahead of me.
Okay, good. I'm ahead of you. See, now we're talking. So.
Here comes Horvat.
Oh, here we go. Watch that. He doesn't even get a shot off.
Awful. That's good for you. That was the last one was bad. That was the worst I've ever seen.
Mike's like excellent bonus coverage. Mike, I wish the shootout wasn't on because I know Brian's going to be.
I don't care.
Anyway, I like Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh over New Jersey.
Having a ball. I want you to win. Hey, can you win this?
Yes, I can.
Right now, outright?
Brian, we can win. We can win. Don't worry. Pittsburgh, Tanev. I thought those checks were clean in the Boston game. Those teams hate each other, so I don't know what to do now. Vancouver just won. They just scored a goal. So anyway, who cares? That's why I do the +1.5. Pittsburgh. Yes, I don't want to take New Jersey.
All right. Dallas, Detroit. I don't want to take either one of them.
I like Dallas.
You got to take Dallas, of course.
They showed me a lot of guts in the last game. They almost beat Tampa Bay. But these are puck lines. But Dallas, you don't trust on the puck line of parlay material, as I told you. So now we are under 10% in shootouts. That's why I do parlays to +1.5 with dogs. Dallas, Detroit. I like Dallas. Okay, here we go. Minnesota, Colorado. What do we do here? This is a game. This
first game, right?
A hockey game.
First game of new batch. This Minnesota team is playing wonderful.
I almost want to take. You know what? I found my first dog, Minnesota. Colorado's been hanging on with smoke and mirrors. They're beating teams like Anaheim, and now Minnesota rolls in here as a dog. Give me the wild in this game. This team's unstoppable.
That's fine.
Right now.
I can live with that, but I will tell you.
Over.
No, I will tell you, buddy. You go nuts with the wild if you want. And I'm sorry you lost. I'm honestly, God, I'm sorry. But did I not say? I mean, these guys, the Canucks are a dead under team now.
Yeah, I know.
Demko is playing like he did in the bubble, and these guys are on a Tootsie Roll. We called it 2 weeks ago. He is playing like he did in the bubble. They are making a run now.
Brian, the Vancouver Canucks are a scary hockey team. All these guys on our network laughed at me when Ottawa was down 2-0. Know what I think? I don't care. Sure, the money line didn't come in, but the +1.5 is attached to the Rangers. The Rangers are up 9 goals. I think we're off to a good start in the Jets game. Are we leading that game? Tell me what the good things are happening there.
We were.
Yeah, we were. It's 2-0 at the end of the first period. Let's just stay positive.
Beauty.
Here. I'm trying to be a positive there.
And by the way,
negative one.
And by the way, you know what that game is, folks? I mean, if you've been following along on the podcast, I know we're all over the map. Tough. Sorry. Deal with it.
Yeah. We've been doing this stuff since 8 o'clock in the morning. I think we're doing a pretty damn good show.
We're both delirious here. But listen, we told you the other night. Remember, honestly, here's what I'm trying to get at. Power ratings and numbers and all these things. What have we told you from day one of this thing? There are so many intangibles that are in play you've got to take into account. I don't know if you did do it. I know the other day I said, I am playing Montreal in the last game against Winnipeg because I am dumping the Brinks truck on Winnipeg in the next game because it's the last game of the long road trip, the Western Road Swing. Montreal's brain is already on the bus on the way to the airport, Cam. All these things we've talked about, and a goalie can beat you. You know, and you've horrible luck in shootouts. Yeah. But the stuff we say, a massive percentage of the time, we're on the right idea conceptually that works.
I don't know what happened. Wow. Now I'm watching the highlights of this game. Joey Decord got hurt in the game, the Ottawa goaltender. Wow. Okay. Anyway.
That's what I said. Who's Gustafson? Never heard
that's the thing. That's the old Gustafson. He was like a third-string goaltender, remember, for the Leafs, like way back in the day. Like, I don't know if it's the same guy, but anyway.
I mean, that guy's carrying Hutch's luggage.
Yeah, he's carrying Hutch's luggage. If I bet every game in a shootout, I'd be doing more than I'd be Hutch's butler. But I will say this: Minnesota, Colorado over, and you're right about the last game of a road trip. That rings true, Brian, and that's why I'm doing you know what you have to do? Because we're cappers and we're making money at this thing. You have to find different ways to bet. If you're snake bitten in an area, but what do you got to do? You take a parlay. You take a dog plus 1.5. You do other things, right? That works for you. And you know what? And I'm really glad I did, because when I watched this shootout, I cared a hell of a lot less, and because I know exactly what the result's going to be. Winnipeg, Edmonton.
Wait. What
do we do with this game?
No, very quickly. I got sidetracked. Minnesota played Arizona 3 games in a row.
Yes, they did.
Arizona is Arizona. Minnesota against Colorado, first game of this new set. I know you like it. I'm just reiterating. Over is the way to go. All right, go ahead.
I couldn't agree more. I'll take the dog in the over and probably more on the over. Winnipeg, Edmonton. What do we do with this game? If Edmonton, I'll tell you one thing, by the time of the taping, if they lose to Calgary again, I'd be coming back full throttle with Edmonton against Winnipeg. What do you think?
Well, what I'm looking at, though, Hellebuck
total's too high?
Well, no, but Hellebuck tonight, I mean, is Hellebuck going to go back-to-back nights?
I think
you're going to get Brossoit.
Brossoit's okay. Yeah,
Brossoit's 5-1 with a 2.48.
I know. He's all right. Like, he's fine with me. You want to give me a 6.5?
It is 6.5. I'm not on this game, but I don't.
You know what?
Brossoit doesn't scare me off.
If you want to bet it, I don't love it. Edmonton. I'm not even going to touch the total. I'd probably lean under, but give me Edmonton in that game at home.
And let's come right back with it. I know it's Arizona. Arizona just played
smashing Arizona in this game.
Well, but they played 3 mud games, kind of with Minnesota. I'm going the same premise. What did we had? Phil Gray, SportsInteraction.com was on with us, and we said the Anaheim Colorado game. Said, why is this number 5.5? That's a bad number. This game's an over. Phil goes, I agree with you. I think it's going to be high scoring. 8-4. Okay. Anaheim, Gibson has faced more rubber than if he had a nephew in the Goodyear factory. Yep. All right. This game's going over. I think Arizona, breath of fresh air. They're not playing Minnesota anymore. Anaheim scoring. They're giving up goals. I like the over.
I agree with you 100%, Brian. I'll tell you another thing. Yeah, no, these overs have been working, and you talked about it, man. It's unbelievable. These Colorado games, too. And I'll tell you one thing. We're hitting these overs because some of these goaltenders that are getting in action they're not Hellebuck, right? Like we see Husso and last night Miska, all these guys, like that's the thing. It's not Grubauer and Francouz, right, Brian? Like, where did he go, right? That's the thing. Like, a lot of these new goaltenders, they're not passing the test. And they're posting numbers at 5.5 and 6 with these guys, and they can't stop a beach ball. So these are why these overs have been hitting.
Uso, is he like wrestling Roman Reigns after the game? What the hell? Huh?
Yeah, I got Dean Ambrose on line 3. What do we do with
by the way, as God is my witness. As God is my witness, the other day I scanned through at triple speed.
You love wrestling.
I do. And you know why?
It's good for a laugh.
My father-in-law, the guy's 96, and he's still kicking, right? But he was a wrestling nut bar. So my wife, we watched the wrestling so she could call the old man to talk about wrestling. So I scanned through it quadruple speed because I got 6 million things, but I watched the crap. But the other night she just said to me, whatever happened to that guy that I go, Dean Ambrose, and you just said Dean Ambrose, the lunatic fringe. Where did he go? Where is he?
Oh, he's in another federation, Brian. That's the thing. He's switched up. He
lives here. He's in Vegas.
Yeah, he's doing all. Yeah, no. I trust me. I know him, and I used to his Renee Paquette used to be on with me on TV back in the day when you were on the score and stuff. That was like we're friends. Like when they come to Toronto.
She's obviously Canadian.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah. She's Canadian. Yeah, big time. And yeah, the big wrestling thing. She's big.
Is Ambrose Canadian?
No. He's from Cincinnati.
Oh, that's right.
We were talking about Skyline Chili. He's like, I'll tell you about Skyline
actually
Chili.
remember that. There was I actually remember that now that he's from Cincinnati. All right, let's go to Friday.
What the hell's going on here? But people are like, this is great. You get
let's
wrestling.
Bet on wrestling.
Get wrestling with the picks too. When's the next day? What are we dealing with?
We're going to Friday. All right. Rangers, Washington.
Is that the 19th?
Yeah. Rangers at Washington. Well, the Rangers have scored 1,000 goals. Did you zag under?
Rangers and Washington.
Different team, though. Panarin's playing, man.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'm riding this Rangers hot streak. They've been good to me. On them against Philly, they're just crushing teams. The bread man's back. Obviously, Putin made up the stories about him and that girl. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, this is what Russian guys do. They've been shaking down players since the Alex McGillney days. Hey, Putin, get off my lawn. Leave Panarin alone. The bread man just wants to make bread and win with the Rangers. Give me the Rangers in this game. I have no opinion. Total, I'd probably lean under.
Vancouver, they're at Montreal. I don't trust Carey Price. And one of these days, you got to give Demko a blow here at some point, right?
Yeah, you do. The thing is about Montreal is if it's Allen, I think they'll probably post too high of a total. These are just leans right now, guys. I kind of lean the under in these games. Everyone thinks they go over all the time. It just doesn't work out that way. What do you think about the side, Montreal or Vancouver? Montreal kind of back from Winnipeg. I don't know. Vancouver might be live again.
Vancouver's playing their lungs out. I mean, if it's Demko in the first game here, I can't buck the trend with Demko. The guy's playing as good as any goalie in the league. Honestly, Fleury is standing on his head. Fleury's been unbelievable. But the Demko right now in this 2 to 3, it's like a golf camp where the guy has a 3-4 week form cycle.
Like Westwood, yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, like Westwood, exactly. Demko is right now. You need a pistol to beat him.
I am with you. Give me it'd be a lean to Vancouver if Demko starts a lean to the under. Calgary, Toronto, Brian. What do we do with this one?
I got to go over the total here.
Yeah, you know what?
By the way, before I forget,
Calgary's playing well.
Hey, before I forget, go back to Thursday for 1 second. Now I'm just listening. I think there was a whole whack of overs. Was there a call to the butcher?
Oh,
Thursday.
Oh yeah. Arizona over, Minnesota over. We like the over there. Yeah,
Winnipeg,
yeah.
Edmonton, who knows?
Ding, 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 butcher call.
It's a butcher call. Flyers, Islanders, we like over.
Yep,
Boston,
salami,
Buffalo, we like over.
Real hot. Hey, butcher, can you bring me in a one that I want my pieces, my salami chunk the size of a fireplace log. Over.
I mean, you're talking roast beef, capicola, salami,
everything. I want the meat
bologna.
Call the butcher.
All right. Calgary, Toronto. I'm not in love with it either way.
I have no opinion.
What about Toronto, though? Currently, though,
Toronto's
right
current
now?
form. I told people this team is not just going to run the table. They're going through, like a lot of these Canadian teams have gone through a slump. The Leafs are dealing with it now. They got, beaten down by Winnipeg. And so they're going to be angry in this game, and Calgary feeling good about themselves. I'd probably go Toronto in the over, but we'll see what the line is. I do like your over there, O'Brien. I agree. What do we do with St. Louis and SJ Sharp?
Well, we don't know because St. Louis is playing the Kings after we tape this. Now, St. Louis, they had a game canceled. They got a stone in their shoe. They'd lost 2 in a row to Vegas. So I think St. Louis, doesn't do anybody any good now. Thought St. Louis was a big play against the Kings. The Sharks are coming off games against Vegas, and Vegas has owned them. I think St. Louis has got to make a push here because that West Division now, Cam, it's like, hey, you want to finish first so you don't play Colorado or St. Louis. And now Minnesota's not going to be an easy out. St. Louis has got to get their stuff together. I caught myself.
I agree. And it's not going to be with Husso. They're going to ride Binnington hard. So, yeah, I like St. Louis in that spot as well. Final game, we got Vegas and the Kings. I'll tell you one thing about the Golden Knights. These guys just win games, but I'll tell you, they're going to be huge chalk in all these games. And, Brian, Gabe and I actually talked about it. Marcia so saying, the rivalry with San Jose is not like it used to be. You know what? In hockey terms, don't open your mouth. Never give a team fodder for anything. Vegas is so damn good, though, but, what's the line?
Well, here's what I would say to you, okay? Robin Leonard's been out forever, all right? He confirmed this morning he's been back. He was practicing with the AHL team here in the same city now. Practiced with the Golden Knights. this morning, spoke to the media for the first time. He's been gone for a long time. Fleury's played 15 of the last 16. He confirmed he had a concussion, so he's back. They've got to give Fleury a rest at some point. I think there's a real opportunity that Leonard plays in the game on Friday night, and
it goes over. How does he play?
He hasn't played in a long time, buddy. Now, it could be Fleury and then Leonard Sunday, but Leonard's coming off a long layoff. I would probably lean over, to be honest.
I agree. If Leonard plays, I will be playing the over. Definitely. Yep.
Well, we made it to Friday. All right. Weekend, there's a Gatling gun here, kids, because we're going way out.
I just tell people, bet against Buffalo.
Boston. Well, can we get an alternate puck line minus 4.5 goals?
Yeah, I'll take Boston.
No, the fans are going to be in Buffalo for the first time. Boston's going to murder them.
Yep. And other games that I would look at, probably the winner of Minnesota-Colorado. If Minnesota wins, I think Colorado would probably come back. The zigzag theory, kind of like with Philadelphia and the Rangers. Philadelphia won in a shootout, and the Rangers kicked the crap out of them. Other games that I'm looking at.
What about the Hockey Night in Canada game, Calgary, Toronto? It's national TV, blah, blah, blah. Those Hockey Night in Canada Saturday night games, those are usually high scoring, aren't they?
They are, but if the other game goes over, I'd look to the under, and I'll tell you one thing. I'm seeing maybe Campbell might get a start, and the last time he played, he got a shutout. So if we have a big track meet game in the first, I would actually be surprised. I think it might be like a 2-1 type of game with Big Save Dave and Campbell.
Well, the Saturday games, honestly, they're all rematch games, so we're not doing you any favors to be, jumping in on too many. I think a lot of the stuff that we've talked about, a lot of these games, first games of series, if they're high scoring, you can really come back the under. They tighten up in the second game. That's worked for the most part all year long, right, Cam?
Yeah, I agree, Brian. And another thing, I will say this, even though like you love the Penguins, I would look for the Devils. They're one of those teams kind of sneaky. Like if Pittsburgh gets the first, I would look at them in the second game. Wow, a great game on later on, Brian. The Florida-Tampa Bay game should be fantastic. Now that game, even if you pop a 6 up there, I'd probably go over in that game, and
it'll be 6.5. Well,
it'll be 6.5.
I don't know. Vasilevsky's pretty good.
And I'm waiting on revenge spot for the Dallas Stars. They were actually embarrassed by Nashville earlier. Or they probably take those guys out to the woodshed. I have a good feeling about Dallas getting on a little bit of a mini run.
You know what? I'm with you. You know what? I'll go with you on the Sunday game. The Florida-Tampa Bay game, that's an afternoon game. I like it high scoring. These matinee games get goofball. And then the Vegas-LA game, know what happened Friday night. If it's Leonard on Friday night, I don't care what the result is, win or lose. If Fleury's coming back in, he is playing incredible hockey game. He's the Vizino winner.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like we're talking like Thatcher Demko's hot, but Fleury's done it all year. He wins the Vezina for fun, Brian. And what was his odds at the start of the year? Between 25 and 30 to 1.
Oh, good Lord.
I could tell you one thing. I wish I had that ticket in my pocket.
The other game, we do the Zoom stuff with the players, and he made a save the other night. Kane came out in on a breakaway in the third period. And I'm telling you, all goalies can do it. No one's got the kahunas to do it. He puts his head down. He come charging out at Kane, and he does the poke check way out above the high slot. And I'm laughing because I used to watch Hasek do that 15 times a year. Fleury is the only guy in the league now that really does that.
Great call.
And so after the game, I said to Fleury, they're about the donuts and all the crap in it. But I said to Fleury, I said, hey, when did that go into your toolbox? I said, I used to watch Hasek do that 15 times a year. You're the only guy that does it now. You were starting when he was winding down. Was it a guy like him or somebody else? Or when did you put that in your toolbox? Because he does do it 3, 4, 5 times a year. And he said, nah, Hasek, I followed Hasek, but he said, I'm a student of goalies, the Waugh and Brodeur, and he talked about the butterfly and the this and the that. But he said, no, when I was a kid, I started doing it when I was a little kid. And, he's worth the price of admission, man. You know what? A 1-0 game, it is not necessarily boring if the goalies are great, but you almost want them to have a bad night because he's so entertaining the way he plays goal. He's not a walrus in the net with the puck hitting him. He's entertaining.
No, and that's the thing. And it's amazing to me how people he's come back with this resurgence, and Pittsburgh got away from him. And you saw the story that Rutherford actually wanted to reacquire him before the start of the year with the Penguins. But that's not happening.
Hey, we'll end this. We're ending it right now. But Elliot Friedman said in his 31 Thoughts thing a few weeks ago, he said he's going to one day pump truth serum into some GMs to find out. It was a 4-team deal, and Fleury was involved, because at the beginning of the year, he was out of here. It was Leonard, right? Yeah. And the Vegas was offering at least a second, maybe more. They were offering, hey, here's a second-round pick and Fleury. They were giving up a second-round pick for someone to take Fleury. Where would they be without this guy?
Nowhere, because I'll tell you one thing, with the way Leonard's been going, it would be a train wreck. So, yeah, he's basically saved the franchise, Brian. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
All right, the hockeybettingpodcast.ca, sportsinteraction.com. You got the sign-up bonus up to $125. Click on the links. Get in, play along with us, have some fun. Click on all the cool books there. Thanks to Phil Gray, joined us earlier in the week from sportsinteraction.com. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good.
It was fun.
Anyway, we go.
Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.